Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Saturday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great, even though look what's going on in the world around us. Not a whole lot to be happy about. You could please hit that like button. You could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. You can share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word. That would be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of every video I post. So today we have part 2, Lyte on the Hill. What's up, my brother?
How's good? What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
You know, just another day, man. Like at the end of the day, it's all about just moving, getting things done. Life is super busy, even though we're going through what we're going through. But, you know, aside from that, I'd say I'm good, and I'm happy to have you on for a part 2. So the way I want to start this out, I figured last time we spoke about Rikers and your time going through that. Now I'd like to hear your story about getting your sentence to go upstate and kind of what that experience was like, what places you did time, etc.
Definitely. First, I want to give a quick little shout out to DMX, man. I hope he pulled through, man. Like,
oh, sure, I just saw that. That's crazy, man.
Man,
that's
he's
sad.
a legend. Man. Yeah, the reason why I kind of because you know he was one of the artists when I was up north. I constantly listened to because that was around the time that I was locked up. So it kind of hits home for me that he's in that predicament. You know what I'm saying?
And his music's dope.
Yeah, man.
You know, he's a true. Like this is the thing. Everybody looked at his exterior and they didn't necessarily look at the true talent that he had. But for somebody that had so many different alter egos and to rap the way that he did, but always having like a message involved in it on some real, you know, he wasn't faking the funk, and that's what everybody loved about DMX in my era. He is definitely a true legend. So hopefully he pulls through this and we get a miracle. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, man. Definitely, man. All right, but anyway, since I got that off my chest, because I definitely was weighing on my shoulders. So I think we left off on Rikers Island, I presume, right? All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to piece it back from the last interview, but so I think I said that I had got sentenced. Well, anyway, I'll just kind of go through that. So I was fighting my case for about a year, 13 months, give or take. They came back with that plea deal, which was the 3 to 9 for the robbery, which they broke down to attempt robbery with a deadly weapon and then the gun charge. Altogether, I had a 4 to 12 bid. So now, when you get sentenced in Rikers Island, so I was in the 4 building at the time. So when you get sentenced, you usually wait about 2 weeks, give or take, that when they take you up north. So now there's 2 different types of receptions up north. There's downstate and there's Ulster County. Downstate is for maximum time, meaning that you got 6 years or more. And Ulster is for medium or minimum time, which you got 6 years or under. So I fell under the medium time, which was 6 years or under, because I had a 4 to 12. So I started in Ulster. Ulster's reception. So when you first get up in there, man, let me tell you, man, right? That's, you know, throughout all of the fights and all of the struggles I've been through, you know, the number one most embarrassing thing is when them COs are looking up your ass, telling you to lift up your nuts, to cough, you know what I mean? So when you in this reception, you know, first of all, they're shaving off all your hair, right?
That's crazy.
Then they talking crazy shit to you while you in the shower. They like squeezing this green or blue solution,
like Lyte shampoo.
Yeah, it's like a sanitizer shampoo where it's supposed to kill lice. Yeah, right. That shit burns the crap out of you, your face, your eyes. Like, how that supposed to help me and it burns me? Like, that doesn't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so after that, after they talk their shit, they put you in a dorm. So you kind of just waiting to get sent to a jail. So at the time, I'm 19. So obviously, when you're 19, there's jails for adolescents. The 3 main adolescent jails in Upstate is the 2 mediums, which is Green and Washington, and then the max for mostly adolescents is Kawasaki. So I thought I was going to either Green or Washington because I was at the two mediums. So they packed me up and they sent me to a adult jail. It's called Livingston. So at this time, New York was giving out work release for violent offenders. So I kind of got at the end. So I thought they sent me to Livingston because I was going to get the work release. So like I said, as I'm in there, they Pataki, who became my governor, he stopped work release for violent offenders while I'm in the jail for work release. I'm like, shit, man. So obviously there's no need for me to be there. So I was only there for like 2 months, 3 months tops. From that point on, they sent me to governor. The Livingston is like adult jail. I didn't have no real issues in there. Some, a lot of people in there's in work release. They almost on their way out the door. So you're not going to see things happen, but not at that type of pace you think it would be. So this time, then they shipped me from Livingston. I went to Governor. Governor again is another adult prison, but it's like a little bit further. It's like closer to Canada. It's literally like about an hour probably from Canada. You know what I mean? This is another adult jail. Now, I had one fight in there with an older cat. I forgot what it was. Some stupid shit we was arguing about. We go up in the bathroom. He was an older cat, was bigger than me. So he definitely gave me the business. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, man, I was a skinny kid, man, when I first went to jail, man. I was a gun buster, man. Like I wasn't no. I fought when I was younger, but once I got a teenager, man, I wasn't fighting no more, man. I was shooting, man. Like that was my thing. So, I had to kind of get better with my hands. So, but anyway, so, we had that fight, but other than that though, like it was chill. I was working in the mess hall. I was doing my bid. I got my GED. I got my floor covering trade there. Like, I was bidding. I was chilling out. So we had a riot up in this particular place. It was the Land Kings against the 5%ers. It started over some bullshit chain, some shit like that. Shit was on, man. Like inmates is chasing captains down with bats. Like the shit was bonkers, man. Like I never seen no shit like this. Like I've been to records down the way. I was in a crazy riot, but these are adult niggas. Like these dudes is getting it in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different.
And they're trying to take lives.
Yeah, they trying to take. Not playing no razor tag. Like they trying to kill niggas. You know what I'm saying? And so after everything is said and done, like I'm minding my business because I ain't got none of that. I'm not Lion King. I'm not 5%. So I don't got anything to do with that. So I'm just looking and exert. I'm like, damn. So now the Orange Crush comes. No, actually, before the Orange Crush comes, the regular SEALs that was around there, worked in there, they put on they little riot gear. They had the little like tear gas shit. They was trying to like shoot the tear gas like over the fence. So inmates was covering their face with towels, grabbing the tear gas container with like a sheet or towel, throwing it back over the fence. Like niggas is wilding to the point that they had to call the Orange Crush. So anybody that know that been in New York State facilities,
that's like an ISIT team, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, they coming in. They're not talking. They don't have no names on their shirts. It's just a number. That is it. That is it. And when they coming in there, they're not playing nice. I don't care who you are. They ain't playing nice.
So here we have, it's called ISIT, and in the penitentiary system, they're all wearing black. Their masks are full face masks that are covered, and they have voice things that make them all have that robotic voice, so you can't tell who they are. And they're all like the young, big, jacked coppers that just want to smash people. And if they're called, they're smashing.
Oh, it's the same thing. We just call them Orange Crush. You know what I mean? But they coming in, they hurting people, man. Like once they put them plastic handcuffs on you and drag, it's a wrap, yo. Like they was pounding up dudes in the visiting floor, all on top of each other, all like handcuffed and shit, just beating the crap out of people. Like that shit was crazy. So what happened was they figured since there was a bunch of us younger cats inside the jail, they felt like we was the reason why all of that. Because what happened was a lot of young cats came with me. So we all came into the jail. I'm not saying we the reason or any of the dudes, but that's how the police figured because they had no riot there. They probably never had no big issue like that. So that was the first thing they thought. So they packed anybody 21 and under, they packed us all up.
Oh, shit.
Once they packed us up, I already knew what time it was. I'm either going to Green, Washington. Those are the two joints I'm going. And if I'm going to Green, that's going to be a different situation because now when you go to Green, if you are adolescent in the 4 building, everybody that's in the 4 building with you, they're going to end up being in Green. So if you had any issues on the island, you're going to see them in Green, and Green is different. It's called a gladiator school for a reason. So sure enough, I get sent to Green. So by this time, I already had a razor. So you already know what I did with that. I boofed that. Like, I already know I'm going into a war zone. I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and wait until I see somebody on the walkway. Yo, I could get like, nah, fuck that.
No.
So I boofed the razor, took that shit with me to Green, and luckily I had it, and I didn't have to use it, but it's like it's almost like you having a gun in the street, man. It's like you feel the same way when you have something in there. You understand what I'm saying? So I get up in there, and I was in there, I want to say 3 days, man. So I'm in the yard, and I'm in the yard by myself. All right. So I'm chilling, I'm by the phone and shit like that. It's like a Friday, because I think I got to Green like on a Tuesday, something like that, on Monday, Tuesday. And Friday, I was in the yard. So mind you, so I'm just looking around in the yard and shit, and I see like a lot of people, like in a bunch, right? So I'm looking, right? And I see them all starting to walk where I'm at, right? So I'm like, dang, what the fuck? Like, I already know what time it is. Like, so I got my razor in my hand, and I'm just waiting. So I'm by the phone and shit like that, and they walking closer. Now I know where they're coming for me. So when I talk about it was a group of people, it probably was about 50 people. I kid you not. And they was all Latin kings. So they was coming my way. So now in my head, I'm thinking I'm gonna die. Like at the end of the day, like even if you run, like where you running to? You in jail.
No running.
Ain't no running. But you gonna go to PC and then your name is not good.
But even still, like if you're in prison, if you're in a maximum security here, and guys get at you in the yard, they ain't coming to save you.
Nope.
When the party's over, they're gonna come pick your body up. If they can get a clean shot, and like if they attack you in the middle of the yard, they'll shoot them and you'll probably survive. But if it's in the gym or something like that, they're not firing live rounds in there. They're not going to risk other people's lives for you. You're going to take your stabbing. It's happened a lot of times. Whether you're left in the yard or you're pulled up to the grate, once it's all calmed down, then they're going to come and get you.
Yep.
That's how it goes in the prison.
So I still got time to do. Like, I'm not going to no particular custody. I'm not that type of cat. Like, I'm going to take my ass whip and I'm just going to take it or I'm going to give it. Either one, vice versa, however it's going to go. So, but anyway, so they coming closer. I'm not even going to hold you. I'm scared. Like, because you don't know. It's a lot. Like, I'm not no fucking Superman, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, them niggas are going to hurt me. My goal was to just grab one individual and just do what I had to do, and they just whatever they do, as long as I got one, that's all I can do at that point. You know what I'm saying? So as they're getting closer, you can just feel the tension. These dudes are getting rounded up. You see them, they getting hyped. You see these niggas with fucking bangers and razors in their hands. So one individual, obviously he's like the leader, or he whatever, third crown. So he's getting closer to me. So he's squinting his eyes and he looking. He like, yo, hold on. He was like, yo, man, yo. When he said that, it was my homeboy that I knew from the street. Yo, when he said that, I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was doing shit. Yo, because I knew he saved my life.
So why were they were just gonna ride on you for no reason?
So what happened? So like in my Rikers Island stories, I
Oh,
have,
you had some problems. Okay.
and then there was one particular one that I knocked out, and he never got a chance to get his shit off. So
Yeah.
he felt some way. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't knock him. You know what I'm saying?
That's
But
prison.
yeah, it's prison. So he's talking to me. So he pulls me to the side. He like, yo, hold on for a second. He pulled me, and I'm telling him, like, look, man, I'm be honest with you, man. These niggas cut me when I was on the island. Like 50 dudes, like night we was just fighting mad niggas. So I was just on some fucking like I see a nigga with yellow and black beads, nigga. I'm knocking him out. And I told him straight up like that. He was like, don't worry about it, man. Ain't shit gonna happen to you. So he goes back to the group of them. So the nigga that I knocked out was there. And he was pissed. He was like, what the fuck? He's pissed. He's like, well, if you got an issue with film, why don't you go shoot the
Go
film?
take the fade, yeah.
Because ain't nobody jumped you. He just knocked you out. Ain't nobody will do nothing. There he go right there. He's like, but you gonna be my brother. And obviously he's a third crown, so you had to put him in his place. But during that time while we in the yard, they was robbing my whole queue. They took everything out my queue. My locker, when I came back, my locker was open. I had mad canned goods. The regular conversating shit. I had my Army field jacket there. I had another pair of the Reebok Classics in there. I had greens that had belt loops in their pockets. Like I was already down for like 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
But you're never gonna just accept that though.
So check it out. So obviously I know who did it, but I don't know who did it. I know what gang did it, but I don't know what individual did it. See, I'm a person like this, right? I'm not just going to take it out on random people. I want it to be who it is. And if it's you, then it's you. So I didn't know who it was. So I said, you know what? Let me go back to my homeboy and let me tell him. So I sees him in the mess hall. Me and him show him like, look, man, your brothers, they took everything out my queue. Like, your word? Fuck that. He said, by the time you get back to your dorm, all your shit is gonna be back in there. And sure enough, when I got back up in there, wasn't not a damn thing missing. You know what I mean? So, but even though after that, we still in prison. I don't trust nobody. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm walking around.
And he may not be there the whole time either.
Exactly. So I'm walking around with my razor inside green. So I'm supposed to meet one of my homies at the gym. So, I'm used to always carrying it in my pocket, especially there. Like I need it accessible. Like I needed somewhere where I can reach it. So I had it in my pocket. I didn't have it cheat. Like I just, you know what I mean? That was me not thinking. So when I get to the gym and realized it was too late, there was the random police there with the hand scanners, and they fucking found the razor in my front pocket. So obviously they beat you up, put you in the box, you do the whole process. So now your classification changes from a medium to a maximum classification, and the max to green is Kawasaki. Kawasaki is for all the adolescents that got like life, they got wild time. So now I go to Kawasaki. So when you go to Kawasaki, when you come from medium, most likely you either go in there for the box or for long-term keep lock. So obviously they gave me 6 months for the razor. So that puts me in the long-term keep lock. So I go to the long-term keep lock with 6 months. 6 months turned into about 13 months. Because I had a fight there. I got jumped inside the cages. So to kind of put a perspective about how keep lock is in Kawasaki, so when you in these keep locks, right? When you come out your cell, your hands got to be in your pocket. If your hands come out your pocket to the officers, you're making a threat to them.
They're gonna get at you.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of that. Like I didn't know. So I took my hand out of my pocket to them, that's showing aggressive. I put 90 days just for fucking taking my hand because I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. So I take me out of the pocket. Obviously, they jumped me. I'm resisting. Like I'm like, come on, like you know what I'm saying? So I got 90 days for that. Then so when you in these type of places, a lot of gang members are obviously running in tears or stuff like that. So when it's time for chow, whatever, for you to eat, an inmate is helping the police giving out the trays to all the inmates because we all keep block. You know, we all in our cells. So if there's ice cream, and then the police is dirty too. Police know it should happen, but they still let the inmates do it anyway. So having ice cream in there is like a privilege. Like you only get that ice cream if you rock like that. Like it just sounds fucking stupid, but
I get it. Yeah, no, I get it.
But that's just how it is. So this particular individual didn't give my ice cream and closed and fucking closed up my flat. So I come to get him like, yo, fam, yo, where the fuck is my ice cream at? You're like, the fuck out of here. You don't fucking rock like that. I'm like, yo, really? I'm like, I said, you know what? You know, we can handle this in the cages. So for people that know what the cages are where you go to recreation at. So you get an hour rec every day. But the thing about when you inside these particular cages in the cat is that there is 5 other inmates in that cage with you. So if you have an issue with another person that's on that tier, everybody's supposed to fall back and only be you and that person in the cage scrapping. You know what I mean? So, you know, we like, yo, we go to cages. So I'm like, cool. So my cell opened up first. So, you know, obviously he's blood. Like, so there's bloods on the tier. So my cage opened up first. Now, I mean, my gate, my door opened up first. His gate was like probably maybe about five doors down from like my gate. Another cell right next to me opened up, who was another blood cat, and then you see other dude cells open up, and then you see his cell open up. So I already know what time it is. Like these niggas are going to jump me. Bottom line. But you know, I still go in the cage anyway. So I go in the cage. When you first come in the cage, police have the gate open. They wait till all 6 inmates are in there. So when you first come in there, you put your hands on the gate, right? And when all 6 inmates are inside the cage, the police tap the gate, and that means that you can go and enjoy the hour rec inside that cage. It's literally like a steel cage, literally like a steel cage. So obviously, when me and fam took off our hands, me and fam, we start scrapping. So you know, throwing punches, wrestling, shit like that. And I guess, you know, his homies felt like I didn't feel like I was getting the best. I felt like it was an even Steven fight. But to them, they felt like I probably was getting the best of them. Some niggas came up because when 2 inmates fight in the cage, if there's other inmates in the cage, they all supposed to put their hands up on the cage and let the 2 inmates in there square it off. But I guess they felt that way, and them niggas all came off the cage and they started jumping me in the cage. So mind you, it was like 5 niggas jumping me in the cage. Mind you, it was like 102 degrees outside in these cages, and we got these greens on. It's not like them greens don't change. The greens is the greens in the winter and in the summer. There's no lemon green. There's no lemon greens. It's the same damn greens.
The shit ain't breathing.
The same, you know what I mean? So it's hot, and I got those hot ass greens on, nigga. I passed out, caught like a heat stroke because of all the activity. Yo, like all the fighting.
You got some bad luck, fam.
Yeah, I'm all bloody and lumped up and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know, so I get, you know, they take me out, they take me to the infirmary. You know, I come back into my block, but after that, you know, dudes wasn't like, you know, they realized like I'm not gonna be scared. I might not be able to maybe beat all of y'all, but I'm gonna come outside and we gonna scrap. My mama told me if a nigga whip your ass once, you go back and you fight him again. That's how my mama taught me, and I ain't gonna violate my mama. You know what I'm saying? But you know, after that, you know, it would be on some cool shit. You know, I got my ice cream. You know, I was rocking, I guess. So, you know, I got my ice cream when I was supposed to get it. And then, you know, some of us became cool on the tier. So after I came out of Q Block after 13 months because I caught another ticket we was revoluting, we was like revoluting on the police, like we was kicking that gate, we was throwing like water on the tier, you know, all that shit, starting fires. So they gave everybody tier 3 tickets for that, and we all got slammed with extra time. So that's how I got all the extra time in there. So that's how I ended up doing 13 months. So I came home. You're still in the max, though. Now you in population. You know, the difference, right? I don't think a lot of people understand. As long as you mind your business, right, it's very likely that you would get into a serious situation, meaning that they got to be weapons drawn. Nigga got to stab you. Usually, a nigga will let you shoot 5 minutes for the most part. You know what I mean? If it's not nothing, you don't owe nigga no money like that. If it's just
and if you just don't carry yourself like you're that guy,
right, exactly,
like you're about that metal game.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So when I came out, I started working at the industry dorm. So the industry dorm is where we used to make boxes, t-shirts for Core Craft, because that's what the name of, you know, the clothing we wore was Core Craft.
It's Core Can here.
That's fucking nuts. So that's nuts. They probably the same people. They just had changed the name because they was in Canada.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, we making t-shirts. I'm not saying I enjoyed it, but it was something that I learned. Because that shit was cool. We had to make mad bundles of underwears. And then, you know, like, when you work in the industry, that's like an honor jail. So usually them inmates that work in them type of jobs are usually, they got wild years in. They not on no other shit no more. They just either going to go home and they just on some Chuck chill out shit. So a lot of shit don't really happen in the industry dorm, like in the industry cell block like that. Usually regular population because niggas out there wilding. So, you know, my time, it wasn't bad in the max. You know what I mean? Like, you know, chilling in the yard, we walked the yard. But my thing, right, what I didn't like how they control the inmates in there. So when you in the max yard, everybody has to walk one way in a circle, like legitimately one way. And I'm like, yo, fuck that shit. I'm not walking that way. And dudes used to look at me. Maybe that's why they probably thought I was nuts or something. I don't know. But I'm not going to walk the same way because that's how police want y'all to walk. I'm not walking like that. So I used to walk the other way around. And police like, why you walking that way for? I said, I didn't know we had to walk that way. This is the way I'm comfortable walking.
Honestly, the politics there sound very similar to here because it's like, for the most part, if you're in the provincial, like the bucket, the detention center where the court and everything is, it's wild. It's always wild. Everybody's punking everybody off. Everybody's starving. Everybody's ribs is touching. So it's dog eat dog. But when you get down to prison and you're in the higher security prisons, it's a respect based society. And as long as you don't super violate, you can do your time, sure. You might get into a fight because you have to stand up for some shit every once in a while because somebody might take you like a sucker just because the way you look. They don't like you. That happens sometimes, right? But I feel like even here in Canada, we even everybody walks one way, same thing. And if you walk the other way, people will be like, yo, like, yo. And I feel like that's all just being trapped in the system, being brainwashed, and you know, you see a lot of guys that think that they solid. They think, but the shit they're doing is so not solid.
Yeah.
You know, like fighting dudes for coppers and fucking, that kind of crazy shit.
Yo, it's funny you said that. I was actually going to get into that. That's another reason I got turned off, right? By just fucking with people. So like there was this particular CEO that was in the cap. I think his name was Carey or some shit like that. CEO Carey. This nigga was a corrupt ass cop, CEO. So he had inmates, right? And there was some, I ain't go, but there was certain individuals that used to cut other inmates for this police.
Whack.
Yo,
that's some real goof shit.
Yo, are you fucking kidding me? And then after they cut, because the police would come just like this to the inmates. Yo, I don't like the inmate. We need to get him out. Yo, after you cut him, give me the razor. And then what we'll say is one of y'all punched them in the face, and that's why his face either cut open or some shit like that. And these motherfuckers was going along with this shit, working for the fucking police.
But do they not realize that if that ever backfire on them, those police ain't staying solid for you. They got your weapon, brother. You think you threw that thing in the garbage? They deep stashed that as an insurance policy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of guys just ain't very bright. You know what I mean? Not too bright.
Yo, that shit really turned me off. Like, cause I used to be, I'm a cool cat. So I'm versatile with a lot of different people. Like, we could kick it about anything. And once I seen that, like, I shut down from a lot of people, because you would probably do that shit for a fucking CO. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these niggas talking about all this snitching shit, nigga. You're like working for the police. I don't care what you tell me. You're better, and I don't care. Like, that's a code you don't violate, man. Like, that's almost like you snitching in the street, police picking you up, and you and police like, no, man, you don't do shit like that. And I would never approve that shit. Like, that shit is whack, man. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. So, since we're going down that road right now, let me ask you this. You're obviously now living a different life. What was the driving force in that? I know it's probably family and kids and stuff, but I don't know for sure. But what was the driving force in that? And what is it that you're doing now? I know that you have your channel stuff, but what is the real goal? What is your real goal?
Like, my goal now is to be that person that wasn't there for me, right? So, growing up, like I said, I'll be 45 in June. So when I was growing up back in the 80s and 90s, before I went, the early 90s, before I went to jail, the role models was the drug dealers, right? That was the role models. Now, right, they, instead of them telling you, yo, go to school, they be like, yo, fuck school. Here's a pack. And I don't think they realize that you just continue that cycle. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the way I am, if I'm out there hustling and there's a little nigga that's like 14 or 15 that want to get down, I'm good. You don't need to touch this. Like, I'm telling you this now. Like, that's how dudes in the street, that's how you stop the cycle. Even if you're involved in crime, you don't let the younger person who was just like you when you was their age follow your path. You stop them and you tell them, yo, look, you don't want to live this life. I live this life because I'm too far deep in it. You're not. That's how you can start like that. So, like, the things I want to do is I want to, I want to be there for these kids. Like, I want to really help them. You know what I'm saying? I want to show them that there is a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in the street, man, like, I was, there was a point that I was knee deep. Like, every day I'm coming outside strapped for what? You understand what I'm saying? And now the drop of a dime, you ready to pop something. Like, for what? Like, what would you really get out of it? I don't have any money from what I did when I was in crime. Not a damn penny. Nothing.
Me neither, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing. So, that's what, I want to do. And the turning point, like, for me, like, to not go back, was there was this one particular dude that you fuck with, right? He was cool, man. Cool cat. Yo, but he ended up coming back into the system 3 different times during my bid. So mind you, so he went home in like 96, right? And then, like, the end of 96, he was back in there for a violation. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? Then in fucking 98, right? He goes home from the violation. You only get like a year, so he went home like 97. 98, I see him in the fucking cat. You know what I'm saying? I see him in the cat. I'm like, yo, dude, like, what you doing here? Shit was fucked up. I called a robbery, this and that. I said, yo, I ain't giving you shit. Yo, I can't. Nah, nigga, you had the opportunity to stay the fuck out. You chose not to, dude. Like, I'm not condoning that shit. We sat there and talked for hours. Like, you know how it is. You have nothing else to do, so you be talking to your bunkie or your man for hours, man. We talked about what we was going to do, man. You understand what I'm saying? And you continue coming back and forth. Like, I can't fuck with you. Like, you're not in the same timeline as me. Like, I don't need you around me then. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that what kind of woke me up, man. That and also being in the max, starting out in the medium, being in the max and seeing shit that was crazy, seeing niggas getting poked up, like, yo, like black on black crime, black on Hispanic, like just white. It was just it was just crazy how you can just want to really harm another person, like for what? Like, what do you really get out of it? You don't get nothing out of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think all of those was just like, like just the final straw for me, man. And then once I got hit at the board in Kawasaki, that's when like my ways started changing. Cause I'm like, yo, like, do I really want to be like these dudes? Like, you got a cellmate across from you that got like a 78 number, and this meanwhile it's fucking 1998, and he got a 78 number. He telling you, yeah, I remember like, no, hell no. You know what I'm saying? And so like when I left Kawasaki, they sent me to Washington. Now that's the other adolescent jail, but Washington is different than Green. Like Washington's a little bit more laid back and chill. Like they got like ovens and stoves inside your dome. Like it was just different living. And I don't think a lot of people wanted to leave that. You know, that was like the closest thing to a home cooked meal than what you can get. And I don't think a lot of people wanted to leave that. So I was in Washington for like, I'm gonna say like a few months, 8 months, I think. Then I ended up in a program to help me, you know, for my second board. So I got transferred to this program. It was like a drug program. I was in there for like about, I want to say about a year, maybe a little less, like a year. I seen my second parole board there, and then I made my board. Now, that jail was interesting because that jail taught me responsibility. It was called Eastern Annex. So this jail taught me responsibility because I was working on a farm, right? So I never worked on a farm. I'm a city dude. A farm, like I never seen the farm in my life, probably. And two, I was in that jail. So, you know, working on the farm and caring for them animals, like so we was making the milking the cows. So, you know, we had like, you know, the milk, you know, the milk pipe thing, you had to plug in the milk pump thing, and then you put the, you know, the it's like a machine, you put the nipples on the cow, you know, you turn it on and it pumps the milk out, you know, runs it through the thing, like, you know, eventually, like when you care for these animals, you know, you patting them, you talking to them, you see some of them pregnant, like you helping them give birth. Like, I don't know, man, it like it clicked on me, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I guess that was something that I wasn't used to, but yet I found some enjoyment in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have
Yeah.
no kids. I ain't have no kids. I was wild young. I never really had to care for anything. And I think caring for them animals, it was different, man. Like it taught me responsibility. Like we was there early in the morning time. I made sure I'd be the first one to start. And like, yo, damn, like you like, nah, man, like they gotta get this milk out. Like, yo, we gotta get these cows going. Like, let's feed them. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's put new hay down underneath them so they lay down. Let's get with it. And then I guess I started taking a leadership role because the CEOs started seeing how I was with the other inmates, like trying to, you know, get them to work together. Let's do this. So they made me in charge of that crew. You know what I mean? So it kind of like, you know, it made me with a sense of responsibility. So I really thank that jail and that program for like really helping, like give me the final push, the final, here you go, now you ready for the world now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So
But
obviously, we share our stories with you guys, so you guys don't have to go through these things yourselves. If we could snap our fingers and nobody has to go through this stuff, that's what we do. But that's not a reality, especially in 2021. I just think that, you know, like I said before, ribs is touching, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm just here to offer up wisdom, and hopefully people listen to these videos and they decide that they don't want to do these things because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And we have a prison here. It's called Fembrook, where you also cook your own food. They have like a little grocery store. You got to go there. You got to budget out your little money. It helps build that kind of responsibility. So let me ask you this. you went from Washington and you did all that and you got those changes, you got out on the street, and now you're doing your channel and stuff like that. So why don't you kind of describe everybody the the channel that you have and just everything that it's about and what you guys plan on growing into.
Yeah, definitely. So just to kind of get a little more backstory. So when I came home, like I said, I worked in Starbucks. I've been a manager. Well, I was a manager. I'm not currently employed by any job, but I was a manager. I was in Starbucks for like 15 years. And that job was fitting for me, man, because it's almost like I was giving back to the youth. But there's times where I interview kids and you could tell they never had no job. You could tell they don't know what they're doing. They're not even dressed for the occasion. But yet once I felt they vibe, because that's how I got hired. I got hired off of vibe. Cause I came in there, man, my shirt was out. I ain't have no tie on, like, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't even nothing dressy. But when I came in there, I made them laugh. I showed them who I really was. And they gave me a chance. And I'll never ever will forget that. You know what I'm saying? So when I was a manager, I was always trying to help the youth, always trying, like I understood them. Like I understood their struggles. Like I didn't just, if they came in late, oh, here you go, here's a corrective action. Like, nah, like I worked with them. All right, listen, maybe you need to change your schedule. Maybe working in the morning time might not be good for you. Let's switch you to night times. Now, if you can't come in at night, then we gotta, then at that point, I did what I could do for you. I gave you every opportunity. Now the rest is up to you. So if I gotta hold you accountable, you can never say anything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now with that work experience, now I'm turning it into our channel. So me and my boy Joe Chapo, we got a channel called If They Only
Shout out
Knew.
to Joe.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Joe. You know what I'm saying? And we do prison stories, but we also try to do other things. Like we try to talk about mental health. Uh, we talk about autism. 'Cause, I have a son that have autism. We talk about PTSD. Like you name it. We try to we dibble and dab into music. We have like hood versuses where it's not a battle. It's my best song against your best song. And that's who won. Like giving back to the people that might not have that voice. A lot of people don't have a voice. You got guys that might be really musically, like they might have like 20 albums in their head, or maybe 20 albums written in their house, but because they don't have the funds or the connections to celebrities, they might have never get heard. Never, never. So
Yeah.
that's what we try to do on our platform. We try to help others. Like, my motto is hold the door open for the next person. Don't ever close that door unless if it's for a negative thing. That's, like if it's a negative thing, then you close that door behind you. But if it's positive, you keep the door open for the next person to come through. That's how we can change our youth as older people. And like I said, for the viewers that might be still in that crime, I'm not knocking you. But when I'm asking, close the door behind you so nobody would be stuck in that world that you're stuck in. You know what I mean? So yeah, we just did one about the vaccine. It's way out of our league, right? We never did nothing like this, but we want to be informational to the people. We want the people to get the info true, because you see me, I'm a regular Joe. I'm just like you, just like the viewer. I'm unemployed. I'm waiting for unemployment checks, just like you. You know what I'm saying? But we can do this together. I think more than ever now, we got to throw away all them races. We got to throw all that stuff away, and we got to come together as people. Because if not, regardless of what race, what color, what gang, I don't care where it is, right? There's going to be people that's going to be messed up behind this whole world, how this shit is now. People are going to be killing themselves. Marriages are going to break up. Like kids are going to be coming home from single parents because, like, so we have to come together now more than ever. You know what I mean? Like,
I 100% agree. If you guys could hit the like button, the subscribe button, the bell notification button, so you get all my videos when they're new. You can share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word. That would be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my videos. But honestly, I totally agree. I think that a lot of the time that is what happens. You know, we're bringing up the younger guys from the prior generation. I know personally, I was brought up that way. I was brought up to fight. I was brought up to, you know, if you got to go get money, you go get that money. And if it's not you getting a job, it doesn't really matter as long as you provide for yourself. And what I would say is that also on my channel, I'd love to give back. And actually, I never even thought about a lot of the things that you're talking about, but opening that door for guys to just play music or anything like that on your channel, give them an opportunity. That's an amazing idea. And I just feel like this was missing for our generation. You know, in this new generation, there's so many opportunities to hear somebody who you can relate to. And maybe, you know, we all might not relate to everybody. We all might not have the same story or a story that touches you or makes you feel like somebody's there with you, but there will be somebody. And now every day, that's why I don't get involved in all the hate and the prison channel beef. I'm happy for anybody that came through that shit and is doing good. And if you're gonna come up and start talking people down that have done that and have gotten out, because it's extremely difficult to get out of that cycle, then you've never met anybody who's been in that cycle, or you're just a cold-hearted person. So obviously, I don't like to keep the interviews too long. We're getting to about 47 minutes. But if you got any last words, if you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, man, I appreciate everything you have to say. And we'll definitely bring you on again. I think that it's always good for channels to help each other. And I think that I don't have all the information. You know, I'm not the end all be all. And I feel like if we worked together a little bit better and networked and showed people that we're serious and we're not just into all this prison drama crap just turned onto YouTube, I think then the genre would be taken a lot more serious. You know what I'm saying? So if you got any last words, man, I appreciate that.
Definitely, I want to give just a few shout outs real quick. Again, you know, the channel is If They Only Knew. If you type in Itok, so ITOK, into the search bar on YouTube, our channel will come with the picture of me, my man, with like a futuristic, colorful type of picture. We finally broke 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate all the new viewers. You know what I'm saying? All the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. You know, and you know, we definitely got new content, you know, coming out. And we always looking for, you know, a good story. You know what I'm saying? The message that I would give to people is, like I said, man, you know, you gotta know whatever, like I said, whatever you doing, if it's either positive or negative, you know what I'm saying, you make sure you teach that person behind you. Bottom line. If you're in a negative world, you better make sure you tell that kid before you give them that pack. Listen, if you get caught with this pack, right, you can go up the road for about 5 years. And just be honest with them. Now you leaving the ball in their court. And there's no, you know, that's up to them to make that decision. Don't make the decision for them. You know what I'm saying? Because you're probably not their parent, you're not their guardian. Don't make that decision for them, man. Let them be a kid. You know what I mean? That would be my message, man. You know what I mean? That was the message I wish that I could have got, instead of, yo, here's the package, you're gonna make mad bread. Oh shit, well, shit, this is the OG telling me this and shit. I'm gonna just make bread and shit. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my message, man. And I appreciate you having me on the show, man. You know, I see the first video we did broke 2K. So I thank for everybody who viewed it and watched it and, you know, comment on it. You know, I try to hit the comments, you know, if it's, you know, a trolling comment, I don't really do those. You know, I'm not going to troll with you. We're not going to go back.
No, man, can't get into it. Sometimes, though, you can't help it, man. Every once in a while, you just like,
I know,
but
man.
You gotta look where it's coming from. At the end of the day, you know, no real bud boy are sending disrespectful YouTube comments. You know.
Facts.
So,
Yep.
anyways, man, I appreciate you. And like I said, we'll have you on again. And, you know, your stories are very interesting. And I know you guys are going to make it.